College basketball experience preview and picks episode for Monday, December 12th on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks presented by WynnBET. WynnBET's now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET is what you need to win. Sign up today. Bet $100. Get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by the SGPN Bowl Challenge. Yes, $250 cash and a $250 gift card is up for grabs exclusively on the ESPN, the SGPN app. Jeez. So grab that thing today. And remember, folks, to let it ride.
This is Mike Leach, head football coach at Mississippi State, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Basketball experience. Jeez, I'm all over the place. I've been traveling. This is the College Basketball Experience episode 4, Monday, December 12th. Can't even get my shit right. I'm all over the place. And if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dad, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
We're getting her done. See the chat's moving along. Chat is moving along. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Retro Bowl Coach. Shout out to Joe McCray. The chat is moving along. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former video coordinator for Bob Huggins at West Virginia, host of the NFL Gambling Podcast, host of the Ryan and Rush Show. Give it up for Ryan McIntyre.
What's up, man?
Hey.
Little later show. Ready to, like Noah said, night owls, and we're ready to talk some college hoops for tomorrow.
Yeah, man, and it's been a crazy day for me, man. Just flying. I'm flying home, and a guy that was my high school coach. I got news that he was involved in an auto accident. If anyone's familiar with Northern Virginia high school basketball, John Costello, rest in peace to my friend John Costello. Head-on collision in Hawaii, man. Someone drove on the other side of the road. Boom. I get that news. And then, as you heard the intro, we had Mike Leach, who, if anyone, if I imagine there's a lot of people listening that do not know that Mike Leach was really the first guest that we had on SGPN. I would say, like, Mike Leach is a good friend. I'm wearing the Wazoo sweatshirt right now. He invited us up to Pullman. Was really the first bit of success that we had, I would say. So obviously our thoughts and prayers with the Costello family and the Leach family is we don't even know his status, as I think he has a heart attack down there. So not the best fucking day. I don't mean to start out on a negative note, but I just want people to know that I'm not really happy right now. So I don't know. Maybe we can pick some games and have some fun, but yeah. So, did you catch a lot of games today? I know you had NFL. Did you catch some games?
Yeah, no, I was able to catch some games. Tennessee, Maryland was a hell of a game, and since we're talking Mike Leach and the Mississippi State Bulldogs, they continue to roll in Stark Vegas. Kind of good. It kind of happened while the Mike Leach stuff was breaking, so it was good to see the Bulldogs win on the basketball court. And obviously, back to what you were saying, I just want to put my prayers out to the Mike Leach family, because I've been a huge Mike Leach fan myself. I don't know him personally like you guys have, and like Noah said in the chat, it was kind of SGPN and the college football experience, now college basketball experience, his first big break. So yeah, pulling for him and his family.
Yeah, and I mean, what's so cool? Just to throw we're gonna talk all the games, guys, but I just want people to know that, you know, hopefully Coach Leach pulls through. We're wishing for him, but you know, I don't think people realize when you watch a game of football, your average football fan, I don't think realizes the impact that Mike Leach has had on the game. If you watch the Kansas City Chiefs, if you watch the New England Patriots with Tom Brady those years, all of that has strong wrinkles of Mike Leach involved in from the NFL to the high school level to the college level. I don't think your average football fan knows anything about the impact that guy had on the game, and in general, just what he is. To me, he's a guy who's himself, that is, you know, in a world of copycats where we struggle, I think, to you know, I think personally we have like a pandemic in our society of everyone wanting to be the same and afraid to say anything and afraid to be different. Where Mike Leach, I think, is just, that is him. That is him. He's got a law degree. He went to coach football, right? He went to coach football and said, you know what? It doesn't make any sense. I'm going to throw a pass every play. And everyone said, you're fucking crazy. And he coached football in Finland. You know, all around the world has this guy. And to me, it took years for that thing to catch on. And when it did, and you see his today, if you follow Twitter, you know, and like I said, I know this is a college basketball show, so I apologize, but you know, his impact on the sport is not truly as known as it should be, because if you look, like I said, 99% of the NFL shit is being ran with tons of wrinkles of Mike Leach's offense. You look at the college game, Tennessee this year, Josh Heupel, former Mike Leach recruit, also coached under him. You look at whether it's Cliff Kingsbury in the NFL with the Arizona Cardinals. You can go to Dave Aranda at Baylor. You can go to Lincoln Riley at USC. Dana Holgerson at Houston. You can go one by one. I mean, I'm forgetting some right now, folks. I'm telling you, you can go one by one. And the offense, Art, you know, say what you want, you know, about Art Briles. He, you know, studied under Leach, but I'm saying all across. Lincoln Riley's brothers, the OC of TCU. Well, how do you think Lincoln Riley got it? Lincoln Riley went to Texas Tech and was cut and trying out for the team, but Mike Leach said, dude, I think you should be a good coach. I think you should be a GA here. Boom, his career. I mean, you go around. Like I said, I'm forgetting a bunch right now too. But he really revolutionized the sport, and that is a perfect metaphor for him, because you know, he was laughed at in the 80s and 90s of this. You can't throw the ball this many times. You can't do that. You can't do that. And to me, it's the same as him. You know, a lot of people in the media, I don't think, know how to pigeonhole. You can't pigeonhole Mike Leach. You can ask him any question. You don't know what's going to come out of his mouth next. And I think that's a testament to him. He's his own man. And it's very rare in 2022, in my opinion, to find someone like him. Like I said, I see a million copycats as far as, you know, the coaches that never want to say, they never want to say anything risky. They never want to go outside the box, you know, and he's a breath of fresh air in 2022, in my opinion. And the impact on the game, I don't think people really know. And you know, we're wishing the best for him, but I don't know. It's a tough day, man. Tough day. Great guy. And I don't know, just sucks. I hope everything works out. It would be like, to me, like, I don't know, like in basketball, I'm trying to think of the comparison. If football is such a different game, it's like chess, where, like, you know, for a long time, people, like, I don't know. We'll save it for the college football experience, because I'm about to go into a spiel on Mouse Davis and all this other revolutionary guys that changed the game. But Mississippi State did beat Minnesota. Did you lock that? Did you bet that?
I did. I really like this Bulldog team. They're really good defensively under Chris Jans in year one. So I did hit my lock, 5-5 day on my locks for me. So not horrible, but I mean, could be worse.
Yeah. I actually had a losing day, 4-5 or 5. Yeah, 4-5, I believe. But I hit on the money line with Ohio. So it's not like I technically had a losing day.
It was a great finish.
Yeah. I mean, because I played the money line on Ohio, it was, I think I might have still been like $4 in the red, but basically broke even. But let's hop into it. Iona. How about that? I should have locked up Iona against St. Bonaventure as they won by 15. Pitino's got them rolling again. It seemed like he had a little slump to start the season, but he's got them rolling again. They look good. I was shocked. Tarleton for the first half. I thought Tarleton and UCF. I was like, Tarleton's going to cover this. They might even win the game, I thought. No. UCF got red hot in the second half. Tarleton struggled to score the ball. They won by 26 points in Orlando. I mean, Johnny Dawkins. Let me ask you that.
That was a hell of a win. I mean, they beat him down in the second half.
Yeah, and let me ask you that in the AAC. You look and say, Houston just lost to Bama over the weekend, looking a little more vulnerable, even from the Kent State and St. Mary's games. But maybe Memphis could win this. Do you think Memphis beats Auburn this weekend?
Yeah.
You think Houston's the clear cut? They're going to run away with the AAC, or you think they might get tested a little bit?
Well, last year Memphis swept Houston too in the regular season, and then obviously Houston won the conference championship in the postseason. But I still think it's Houston's to lose. But I mean, maybe the gap is a little shorter than we were making it out to be before this weekend started.
Yeah. And maybe UCF can be a player if they play like that today. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maine Cocaine Black
Bears.
Though. Did you lock the Maine Cocaine Black Bears?
I did not. I tried to do it on my phone and it wouldn't go through.
It's okay, because I won money for us. All right, I won money for us. Shout out to Retro Bowl coach saying charge on. I get the reference. And Niagara beats Eastern Michigan by 7. I mean, there's no way Imani Bates is at Eastern Michigan next year, right?
No,
he's transferring again, right?
Yeah. No, he went there. He got it, I guess, back on his feet. I know he had the incident a couple weeks ago, but no, Eastern Michigan's they're turning into auto fade.
Yeah, and he's going to be done. Ysplanty. He's going to be out of there. I would imagine at the end of the year, this is a disaster. I thought they'd be a lot better. I thought they'd be competitive in the MAC. No.
They're Milwaukee of last year.
Yeah, they really are. It's like a spot-on reference to them. Siena did not cover against Delaware, which is, I almost bet this. I was very close to betting this, and so I would have lost. Blue Hens get the win. Akron wins by 13 against Jackson State. And then Ohio, as I mentioned. Hope you cashed in on the money line here. ECU did it again, man. They did it again. They were down the whole game. This is not going to work in the AAC when that season starts. It's just not going to work.
Well, under Schwartz, where do you put them in the pecking order in the American?
Well, I mean, when they're on, I think they're, well, to me, like, you just can't give up 20-point leads and then just battle back every time.
Oh, they're wild.
I feel like all of our wins, with the exception of one, is in a game where we were down double digits.
Yeah.
And sure enough, that was the situation again today against Coppin. ECU does get the win. They actually covered the spread too. It was 8, and they won by 9. Magic. I'm telling you, if you bet ECU, which I know the chat last night, someone was saying lock up ECU. I was like, fuck no. They
lock
cashed
up the
in
live money line.
I don't know how they got it done. They cashed in though. Shout out to that. And then how about the Virginia Tech Hokies? They win by 5 against Oklahoma State in Brooklyn. I mean, they're 10-1 now. Where would you rank them? Where, like, are they a top 10 team to you? They're the quietest top 10 team in the country, if so.
Yeah, no, they're fringe, definitely top 15. In the ACC, I got them number 3 right now. I probably lean Duke just a little bit ahead of them just because of their potential going forward. And then probably Virginia number 1. But Mike Young's doing magic again in Blacksburg. This game was in Brooklyn. It was a great game, back and forth. And Virginia Tech's been really, really good against the spread so far this year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they've been a really good team. I actually took Oklahoma State to win that one. I didn't bet it, but I took it. East Tennessee State loses at Morehead State. I was a bit surprised by that. ETSU does not seem to be the best or as good as years past teams. The Buccaneers normally field a pretty good roster. Prairie View got the cover against Northwestern. Northwestern gets the win. Northwestern continues to surprise. I mean, we all took Northwestern to beat Prairie View, but these are games potentially that in years past they might have lost.
Agreed.
Yeah, Fairleigh Dickinson wins against NJIT. They don't cover. I was on the wrong side of that, but it wasn't a bet. So Bryant didn't cover against Manhattan. Actually got pushed to overtime. Manhattan, I have a really hard time because remember we locked up Manhattan the other day thinking they're pretty good. They lose by like 50, and then I took Bryant -9 yesterday or 8.5, whatever it was. You lose. I didn't bet this one, but I'm just saying I don't understand Manhattan. They're a hard team to get a grasp of. I don't know. You get any eyes on that game? Should we just move along there?
Yeah, no, but back to Manhattan, like you said, we took them the other day. Who was it against? It was against Providence. Yeah, getting 20 and they lose by 40. They've been really good against the spread though, other than that Providence game.
Yeah.
Basically all the games that we don't bet them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have a hard time understanding them. We should have locked up this one because I took K-State -27, I think it was, against Incarnate Word. They won by 48.
Oh, yeah. Beat down.
Incarnate Word, you got your football season going, but basketball, you got issues. Chicago State almost did it for us today, man. They covered, but
they should have won outright.
They almost hit on the money line.
Yeah.
They lose by 1 in overtime to UT Martin. I locked up Lipscomb thinking there was a rebound spot. I did bet this one. I did eat shit with this one. I am never taking Lipscomb again. I don't know what that Belmont game was. For like a 2-game stretch, Lipscomb looked like perhaps a tournament team. And I go, not anymore. It didn't last long as they lose to Tennessee State 90-85. Bowling Green houses Hampton. But let's talk about New Mexico State. I told you guys last night. You catch the murder charge or whatever, he hasn't caught the charge yet, but I think he will. What has happened since then? I said, I believe in that shit. Those are indicators that your program's moving in the right direction. So I took them against, Santa Clara. They covered, almost won the game outright. The 3 players suspended, not a fucking problem. They go from, Las Cruces, New Mexico to San Francisco to Pittsburgh. Not a problem. They go into Pittsburgh, win by 13. Take that, Dukes. I mean, you got to give it up. You got to give it up to New Mexico State.
Duquesne not one of the weirder teams now?
Yeah. I mean, the whole A-10, I feel like. The whole A-10. I know you weren't on yesterday's show, but Loyola beats Clemson and like really puts it on Clemson.
That was a stunner.
I did not see that coming.
No.
It's hard to get a read on the A-10. NC Nick locked up Navy and took it on the money line as Navy beats Towson 71-69. I thought about locking it up. I didn't, and I regret it. I took Navy, but you were right about this. You talked about this after they played in Morgantown. You said this Navy team is legit. They're an NCAA tournament caliber team. And
no, they're really good.
Yeah, many people have Towson in the NCAA tournament preseason, and Navy just went to Towson and put it on them.
Yeah, no, saw him in person. The score did not indicate how good Navy was in that game. They remind me of the football version of themselves on the basketball court with the way they run their offense and their discipline that they have.
Yeah, and by the way, that athletic director, He's a fucking idiot for firing Ken Niumatalolo.
Oh,
You're
what
not
a
going to find
joke.
a better.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He had to deal with all these crazy COVID protocols. So he had 2 losing seasons in 20 and 21. This team this year was chippy, and they're playing in the AAC. All these other teams can use the portal. Don't get me started. That guy,
Yeah.
Ken Niumatalolo is a fantastic coach.
No doubt.
Marquette wins by 15 at Notre Dame. I took the Irish. I thought the Irish in South Bend, they normally beat a lot of these, good schools. Wow. Shaka Smart. Can we stop for a second and just talk about they're way ahead of where we had them penciled in. We thought they'd they'd be battling with DePaul and Georgetown for the worst team in the Big East preseason. We are wrong. I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah. I mean, did you catch this game at all?
I did. I actually locked up Marquette. This is probably my best call of the day. I like this Marquette team. They got the young guard. It's a kind of a throwback team with Shaka Smart to his VCU days. They play extremely hard, shoot a lot of threes, play kind of a chaotic tempo. And I think we were down on them just because we didn't know what they were in the preseason. But then I think at the end of the show, we were like, this is like a team that comes out of nowhere, kind of like his VCU days. And it's seeming like this is an NCAA tournament team, Marquette.
For sure. And it kind of goes to the theory of like when he doesn't have that target on his back, where expectations were at Texas, they were like, oh, they got to go to the Final Four. When he can just kind of have a team that no one's paying attention to is when he thrives. It seems like. Shout out to Marquette. I do want to touch base on Colorado State. They beat Peru State. What the fuck? Try the Lomo Saltado. Where the hell is Purdue State? I'm very curious. I can't even get someone figure that one out. Is that can't actually be the country of Peru? That's got to be somewhere.
No, I can't find it either.
I mean, Peru State scored 72 in Fort Collins, so shout out to them.
They're out of Nebraska.
Okay, shout out to Peru State. Probably have a great soccer team. I mean, dude, this is the one. The smell. I said, fuck the smell. Classic Patty C line here. And I went with Indiana State. Because the line didn't make sense to me. I was like, how's Indiana State only laying like 5? I think it was 4.5 at Southern Indiana. And I'm like, wait, what? So I'm like, I'm locking up Indiana State, even though I just don't think that line makes any sense. Sure enough, Southern Indiana wins by 3 in overtime. It's my fault for fading the Screaming Eagles. But what'd you do here in this one?
I locked up the Screaming Eagles and took it on the money line. So this is a good win for me. Man. Yeah.
You wild man.
And that place was lit.
Yeah, they have good fans.
And they showed out for Indiana State, the Sycamores, and that place was rocking.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge win. That's a huge win,
no doubt,
on the wrestling. I don't think they're eligible. They're not eligible to go to dancing this year. So like that one, I should have factored that into it. It's like the Bellarmine and Louisville angle. It's like this is their Super Bowl. They're not allowed to go to the NCAA tournament. So, very glad I didn't bet this next game. I was considering laying the 5 with Tennessee and betting this. Well, they only beat Maryland by 3 in New York City. What'd you do here?
I took the Vols, and they were up 17 at the break and kind of dominating the game. And then all of a sudden, Maryland got back into it, kind of went to a little bit of pressure and sped up the tempo. I like Maryland's team under Kevin Willard in year number 1. They're feisty, and I think it's an NCAA tournament team in the Big Ten play, and I think they're just going to keep getting better and better. Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad I didn't bet that one because I thought I had that in the bag too. But I did bet this next one, and this is one that's similar, I will say. I locked up UC Riverside -5. I want people to know that with about 4 minutes left, UC Riverside was up 12. And they only won by 2. And actually, Idaho came all the way back and actually tied it up. So Riverside actually had to score to win the game. This was a brutal beat, man. This is a really brutal beat. Yeah, if I don't know if anyone watched this game, but I did before I took my flight, and I'm sitting there like, I cannot believe, like I'm like, I would say pretty much the whole second half, Riverside was covering until like the 2-minute mark. I would say right around there. Brutal. I feel like if they played again tomorrow, I would still bet that because I feel like they would cover that line tomorrow. If that makes sense.
I'm with you. I took it with you. It was a tough loss. We were on the right side of those. We'll get more right than we do wrong in games like that. So I'll gladly take my loss on that one. Well,
absolutely
not gladly,
brutal.
No. We were on the right side.
Yeah. South Carolina wins by 11 against Presbyterian. They were, I think, giving away 10 or 9.5. I took Presbyterian. What'd you do here?
I took Presbyterian. Yeah, no,
Dude, it's right there. It's right there. We could have hit, but I don't know. Didn't happen. I didn't lock it though, and I didn't lock Oregon State. I did take Oregon State plus the 14 against A&M. A&M won by 18, but even that one was Oregon State was winning at halftime, so they got their shit together and it worked out. McNeese did not cover against Iowa State. Iowa State wins by 37. I did lock up this one. Seton Hall in a rock fight in Piscataway at the rack. Seton Hall wins by 2. Okay, what? The rack's a big deal? Not for Shaheen Holloway. He's like, I'm from this neck of the woods. Get this shit out of here. Huge win for Seton Hall. Did you watch this game?
Yes, and you're right. It was a rock fight. I love watching these games in the 40s every now and then. With all the new rules, you can't foul anybody, all the freedom of movement, and then all of a sudden, every now and then, it's like a 9-6 football game. It's great. Just a total rock fight. And
it's one of the reasons why college basketball is just so much better than NBA's. You could find a defensive team where, Rutgers and Seton Hall, I kind of feel like defensive teams, but UVA always plays games in the 40s. I know some people think that's disgusting. I think a game in the 140s is fucking disgusting, and you get that all the time in the league. But yeah, Seton Hall needed this one because they had a little rocky start, I would say. So
I was getting ready to say they needed a resume win.
Yeah, and this is it. I know Rutgers should have beaten Ohio State the game before on that rule that the refs missed. But Wisconsin, I was on the right side of Wisconsin against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Needed overtime, and I know things were getting chippy in this one. 78-75, Wisconsin gets it done, and the locks were flowing, man. I had Howard plus 19 against VCU. They lose by 10. Let's go. Did you catch the Wisconsin-Iowa game at all?
Yeah, no. Iowa was down 5 with 25 seconds, and they got a layup, then they got a turnover. McCaffrey hit a 3 in overtime, but Badgers hold on.
They held on, man. They held on, and what a big win there. Wonder if they had Chris Murray, I think it would have been a different story. UMass put it on Hofstra, and I'm glad I took UMass here. Did you bet UMass?
Yeah, and I think Frank Martin got his message across. He wasn't very happy with his team the other night. Big win for them over Speedy Claxton.
Yeah, and Hofstra's pretty good. That's a good win. Mississippi State, as we alluded to, they won by 18 at the barn against Minnesota. And then I was dumb enough to lock up St. Francis, PA, plus like 17 or 18 on the island, but maybe I forgot that. As the Rainbow Warriors get the dub. I mean, game balls. I will start with to me, I think I guess I'll start off with Marquette. I think that's a huge win for them. I think that's, we wanted to see this consistency. Obviously we had the Baylor game, and I thought, could this be, they lose the Wisconsin game after that. I think Marquette is officially, on the radar now. And like you said, we got to really factor them each and every week or each and every game. That's my game ball number 1. Shaka Smart and Marquette. You?
Yeah, love that game ball right there. I'm gonna go Seton Hall in the rivalry. Go on the road, get a big win at the Rack. Needed it for their non-conference resume. So Shaheen Holloway and the Seton Hall Pirates get my game ball.
I like it. For me, number 2. Well, no, I'm not gonna do them. Fuck them because they fired Ken Niumatalolo. I have all these personal grudges with all these teams, even though the basketball team has nothing to do with it. I'm going to go to the Screaming Eagles. That's a huge win. And you might not be able to make the NCAA tournament, but this is one that you can keep building your program with. Shout out to Southern Indiana. Overtime win against Indiana State. That is my second game ball. How about you?
I'll go Navy. I know, yeah, you won't do it for personal reasons, but a big win at Towson. I mean, Towson's an NCAA tournament-like team. I will take the Navy midshipmen.
All right. Well, my third one, you can choose a lot of different angles here. I mean, there's a lot of worthy teams on this slate.
Mm-hmm.
There really is. I think I'll go Virginia Tech though. Like I thought, I think you can make a case. You could claim Ohio or Iona or UCF or some of these other schools, but Wisconsin maybe. But I think Virginia Tech being 10-1. They look good, and that wasn't like they were kind of up most of that game. That was super impressive. Mike Young and the Hokies are rolling. It's going to be interesting because I think they're flying under the radar still. Even at 10-1, I don't think most people are paying attention to them. I think the Hokies deserve that game ball. What is your final game ball?
Yeah, I went back and forth on this one with the news of Mike Leach today. So in honor of Mike Leach, I will give the game ball to the Mississippi State Bulldogs, who went to Minnesota, got a big road win. I know Minnesota's not very good, but still a road win, and they won by 20. So Chris Jans, Mike Leach, and Stark Vegas get my final game ball.
They're 9-0, man. They're 9-0. And shout out to the Bulldogs and shout out to Coach Leach. All right. You ready to hop into tomorrow's action?
Let's do it.
Let's fucking go. Let me get some type of music here as we head into that. What do we got? Let's go. Let's do this one.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole team's looking and the whole world's looking with the gamblers.
All right. We are the gamblers. And we are here to gamble. So we're starting things off with, Sacred Heart. Well, actually, there is a game earlier than this. 8 a.m. my time. Spalding. They make a lot of great basketballs. Spalding is taking on the IUPUI. What are the Jaguars? Is there any chance Spalding could, the Golden Eagles of Spalding could bounce their way? Catch the pun.
Oh yeah,
into a dub.
I'm gonna find a stream on this one and watch this. Spalding from Caddyshack. Let's go.
Classic flick. If you haven't seen Caddyshack, you got to check it out.
Oh, you don't know what life is if you haven't seen Caddyshack.
Yeah, exactly. If you haven't seen Caddyshack, maybe you should. I don't know. I don't know. Just go check it out. I'm about to say some evil shit. Sacred Heart is at Stony Brook. Sacred Heart's laying 2. I'm going to lay the 2. Stony Brook's been you want to talk about a team that's been a fucking disappointment this year? I thought they'd landed some key pieces in the portal. They suck. Ass. Sacred Heart is not very good, but they were chippy with Pitt in the first half. I think Sacred Heart's the better team here. I'm laying the 2. You?
I kind of agree with you. I know the game's at Stony Brook, but I agree with you. I'll take Sacred Heart here.
Yeah. Columbia.
Oh, God. These guys.
They're catching. This is hilarious. This is how bad Columbia is, folks. I just want you guys to realize they're catching. Columbia is 4-9. They are catching 7.5 points at Lafayette, who's 1-10.
And their only wins over Central Connecticut by 5.
This is absolutely fucking hilarious.
Oh.
Folks, their offensive ratings, just to let you know, Columbia's offense, 286th. Not terrible. Well, Lafayette, 323rd. Defensively, Lafayette's 336th. Meanwhile, Columbia is 245th. I feel like we should probably take Columbia based on these analytics, but at the same time, man, yeah, I'm taking the 7.5. Are you kidding me? I'm taking the 7.5 in Columbia. You know what? I sprinkle some on the money line. I can't believe I'm saying this.
Do I go back to the what? I was going to say I locked them up against Fairleigh Dickinson, and they were right there to win. They've been bad, but they recently have gotten better in terms of they're not getting blown out anymore. They beat New Hampshire. They lost by 7 to UMBC. Fairleigh Dickinson went right down the wire. Yeah, this could be a ball game. I'll lock up Columbia for you, Noah Beanick, in the chat.
Hang on, though. Let me try to talk you out of that. I'm looking at their schedule right now. Lafayette, this is their schedule. Miami, they only lost by 13 to Miami, right? They lost by 15 at St. John's. Then they were at St. Joe's. They lost by 4 at St. Joe's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they did go to at UMBC, who's not very good. They lost that game by 8. That's the only like true blemish. They should lose to St. Joe's. They beat Central Connecticut State, but then they almost beat Penn. They only lose by 6. Then they go to Penn State. They lose by 13. Then they go to Drexel. They lose by 8. Then they play Cornell. They only lose by 5. Cornell's good. I mean, then Princeton, then Quinnipiac. In a way, that schedule is unbelievably tough.
Yeah, they also don't get blown out. Yeah, no, I'm kind of.
I'll take the points. I'm not locking it now. I don't think we.
Yeah,
lock
you
it.
talked me out of the lock. You talked me out of the lock. But sprinkle some on the money line. I agree with you there.
Yeah, if you're gonna bet it, you bet the money line. Yale is taking on Fairfield. Little battle of Connecticut, right? Yale's 8-3. Fairfield's 4-6. Fairfield is terrible on offense, 315th. Meanwhile, Yale is 19th. That's enough for me. Actually, we should probably lock this one.
Yeah, no.
Yale's coming up with the Kentucky loss.
A little worried that maybe this line does stink because I think it's a little short. But I like Patty C. Fuck the spell. You got to go right in it. I'm taking Yale.
I'll join you here. All right, I'll join you. It's like the Kansas line the other day. That one came true. Sometimes the smell works out. Give me Yale -5.5. Monmouth is at Syracuse. Game's terrible. Can't believe I'm actually going to lay 21 points with Syracuse.
I was about to say, like, Syracuse has no business laying 21 points, but Monmouth is I don't even know how to describe Monmouth so far this year. They are 1-9. They're coming off a 40-point loss to Princeton.
Yeah, I'm taking Syracuse laying the 21. You?
Yeah, I'll lay the points too.
It's really unbelievable how that, like, Monmouth, I get it. They lost a ton last year, but I kind of thought King Rice had the program a little bit better off than this.
Yep.
South Alabama's at Alabama A&M. South Alabama is laying 8.5 against A&M. You know, A&M's not that bad. We locked up A&M early in the year and that hit for us. They're 3-5. They're coming off of a 4-point win against Lipscomb. And if you dive into their schedule, 5-point loss to La Tech, that's not bad. They did get owned by Samford, but Samford's good. I just kind of think they're better than what we think they are. I'll take the Bulldogs plus the 8.5. I might even lock this because South Alabama kind of been a mess this year, even though they were supposed to be pretty good. What are you doing
South
here?
Alabama, I think, is one of those teams. They've been good against the high majors because they have a bunch of transfers, but they do have a tendency to kind of play down to their opponents over the years under Richie Riley. And this is kind of the little brother, big brother angle. I know South Alabama's not Alabama or Auburn, but they are a step up from Alabama A&M. I'm with you. I'll take Alabama A&M.
Yeah, let's go. Liberty heads to Oral Roberts. This is actually in Tulsa, or is this? I need to double check and make sure this is actually
it
in
is.
Tulsa.
Yep.
All right, 6-3 Liberty against 7-3 Oral Roberts. Liberty's catching 3.5. I think Liberty's going to win this game. Give me the 3.5. Sprinkle some in the money line plus 140. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I'm going back and forth on this one because I feel like Oral Roberts has been inconsistent this year as well. I'll take the consistency of Richie McKay here to get it done.
Yeah, the only concern is that's a far trip, but
yeah,
3.5 points, 140 on the money line. If you're going to bet it, just go money line. South Florida, it's getting 4.5 in Cedar Falls against Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa just lost to McNeese. South Florida's been a disappointment this year. Northern Iowa's been a disappointment this year. I'm going to take Northern Iowa to bounce back. I'm laying the 4.5. You?
Yeah, I'm going to lock up Northern Iowa here. I think this is a bounce back. It's South Florida. I've been extremely disappointed with them. I don't think they're very good at all. So I'll lock up the travel spot here.
I'll join you. I needed another lock. I will say, this reeks of the Lipscomb play I did yesterday after they had lost the game prior. But let's try it again. Rice is catching 28.5 at Texas. I mean, should we lock up this?
Yeah,
no, we should not. I was going to say, do we lock up the next game or this? Maybe you do it. You know what? We have a parlay situation here. Normally, I don't like these big ass spreads, but Rice, I don't think is going to be able to have much success against Texas. And I'll agree. We should lock up the Texas Longhorns minus 28. But I also think we should parlay that with Gonzaga minus 30 against Northern Illinois.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's two smash spots. I'm with you.
Northern Illinois is terrible.
Terrible. Yeah. And Gonzaga is due for a total beatdown game.
Let's go. Even I know people say you shouldn't do teasers, which I don't understand why. I'll do teasers. Tease them down. Not a bad idea. Yeah. Arizona State, this is game of the night. Creighton. Wait, is this in Tempe or just in Omaha? This is in Tempe, right?
Yes.
This is in Vegas, actually. It's in Vegas.
No, it's in Vegas. Yep. It's
the Michelob Ultra.
Yeah.
This game's fantastic. The Creighton BYU game was absolutely ridiculous last night, or what was that last night? Yeah, I think it was. Creighton's laying 3.5. You know, I locked up Creighton yesterday, and I had no idea that Ryan Kalkbrenner wasn't going to play. So thank you, McDermott, for that press release there. I have no idea. So is he going to play this game? Because it's kind of important on my fucking handicap. I'll take Creighton to bounce back. I'm laying the 3.5. But obviously, pay attention to this, folks. If you're going to bet this game, you need to know that information.
Yeah.
He's their leading scorer and leading rebounder by a pretty wide margin. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, if Kalkbrenner's back, I'll consider locking up Creighton because they need a bounce back. They've lost 4 in a row now, but I'm not doing anything until I know the status of him going into this Arizona State game.
They're 6-4, and let me tell you, if they do not win this one, their next 2 games are at Marquette and home to Butler. Good luck.
Yep.
Good luck.
Yep.
You might have a tough December. Yeah, I need to know. So get the SGPN app. It's free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. You might see us lock that one up if we know that Ryan Kalkbrenner's playing. UC San Diego's in San Diego taking on the Toreros. I was on Cal Baptist to beat San Diego, and they did the other day. But this one's interesting. 10 points too much though. Both these teams 500. UC San Diego's 4-4. San Diego's 5-5. I just got to take the 10 points in San Diego. You?
Yeah, just because they're both regional, but I'm torn on this one because I do think San Diego or Steve Lavin's San Diego, that is a much better team. But like you said, in regional games, I'll take the points.
Yeah, we got an interesting one here. Another one in San Diego. Kennesaw State taking on San Diego State, the Aztecs. Kennesaw's pretty good this year, man.
Underrated.
I don't know how much you've caught them, but like they're only. I mean, okay, they did get worked randomly by Campbell, but their other losses, like a 10-point loss to Florida, a 3-point loss at VCU. They're getting 15. Yeah. I will take the 15. I almost think we should lock this.
Yeah, on a night kind of where we're looking for locks, I will lock up the Owls.
I think they can keep this in check. Let's go. Pepperdine. Take it on Grand Canyon. Wait, is this one's in Vegas too? I think. Is this in Vegas?
Yes, doubleheader.
Wait, why am I not seeing this? Oh, is this one technically?
Oh, I'm looking at New Mexico, San Francisco as the second game in Vegas.
Oh yeah, what the hell?
The Lobos and Dons. That's what I'm seeing.
The site that I'm using right now is inaccurate.
Tally site for some reason has a December 17th game up there. I don't know why that is.
Yeah. So this game's fantastic, by the way. New Mexico and San Francisco. Do you see a line on this? I do not. Does anyone see a line on this one?
No, you see one? I'm not seeing it either. Where is New Mexico? Come on, where's New Mexico? We got to have a line on this one.
I know.
This is like the sneaky game. I got
one. New Mexico's laying 3.5. Wait, this is in San Francisco, I believe, right?
No. This is in Vegas. This is the doubleheader at the Ultra Arena.
I'm on New Mexico. I think New Mexico's going to do it. I'll lock it up. Let's go. You joining?
Yeah. Richard Pitino's been awesome so far this year. Keep taking the Patinos. Let's go.
Lock it up. Lock it up. Damn, he sees a 2.5 out there. I don't even see a 2.5.
I'll take the 2.5 though.
I'm searching if I can find it. Where the fuck are you grabbing that number at?
He's grabbing it at the Ultra Arena, baby.
Yeah. He's get yourself a little Michelob Ultra. Watch the carbs.
Watch dad bod.
Yeah. All right. So these are my locks. To recap, because that's our final game of the night. That's probably the second best game of the night. Yeah, I don't know. But to recap, I am locking up New Mexico. Well, I only see 3.5 right now, but I'm still locking up New Mexico minus 3.5 in Vegas. I'm locking up Kennesaw plus 15 in San Diego. I might be locking up Creighton and Arizona State, but stay tuned. I'm locking up Texas minus 28.5 at home against Rice. And I'm locking up Gonzaga minus 30 against Northern Illinois. And I think we should parlay those. Yes. Yep. Folks, in case you're wondering my logic here, Northern Illinois is coming off of a 37-point loss to Idaho.
I think Idaho 40.
Yeah, I agree. I am locking up Northern Iowa minus 4.5 at home in Cedar Falls against South Florida. And Yale minus 5.5 at Fairfield. I am locking up, and those are my locks. What are you doing? Fire away.
So this is a pick Dundee Moneyline Mac lock Monday night because we have the exact same locks going into the night. So what could go wrong? I'm with you on Yale minus the 5.5, Northern Iowa minus 4.5, laying the big numbers with Texas minus 28.5, the Zags minus 30. We're going to take Kennesaw State plus the 15 at San Diego State. And then last but not least, and probably the game of the night, sneaky game of the night, we're going to take the Lobos minus 3.5 to get it done against the San Francisco Dons.
I hope that game's on TV because it was a pain in the ass. Okay, good, because the Loyola Utah State game in Vegas was a pain in the ass to find on television. I had to finagle some things to get eyes on that. All right, well, those are our locks, folks. We got a bigger slate tomorrow night. It'll be Moneyline Mac, myself, and NC Nick picking games. So stay tuned, and folks, subscribe to the college basketball experience. Subscribe to the college football experience. As we continue to root Coach Leach on, wishing him the best. Subscribe to the Sports Gambling Podcast and all of Ryan's work, the NFL Gambling Podcast. That roughing the passer call tonight made me want to vomit. I was on a plane watching that. What the hell is happening to the fucking sport, man?
Yeah.
Who is in charge of this shit? Look, hitting is supposed to happen in football. All right. I know they can say, oh, well, people are getting CTE. All right. Yeah, that happens. I get it. We want to prevent that. If it's ruthless, absolutely ruthless, then kick him out of the game, fine him, do whatever. But when it's a normal play like that, that's what you sign up for. It's the same in boxing. It's the same in any sport. When you sign up, there's risk in life. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you this, folks. There's risk in whatever you do in life. It's fucking ridiculous. Dude, I was watching that in the plane. I had like this European guy next to me. And he definitely had no idea what I was getting worked up about. I was like, hey, you see this call? You see this call? Anyway, just an absolutely ridiculous call. Check out the NFL Gambling Podcast, though. Maybe they'll be shitting on that call as well. Check out the Ryan and Rush show. Ryan also hosts that. That's fantastic. Check out both of those. And get the SGPN app in the App Store, Google Play Store. And come talk college hoops with us in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Until next time. All right. This is the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.